So we are live in Lewes, Delaware. This is East Savannah Road. It's probably a little after 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on October 12th, 2025. So you can see the road closed here in East Savannah Road, just to give some optics. So the beach is down there at the end of the road, just out of view, just right at the end there. You can see the road is closed off here. There's a coastal flood warning. This is going to be this high tide cycle looked to have been moderate. So it was high tide here was around just a little around 1:30. Gets some a little later in the back bays and channels around here. So also shout out to the Lewes police who stopped by to see we were okay, knew how to get out if we had to. So we're parked safely, so we're fine. But it was very nice of them. They handled things pretty well around here. You can see the flooding coming up to, you can actually hear that manhole cover gurgling a bit. You can see right next to the parking cone. The flooding encroaching in the parking lots of businesses here along East Savannah Road. Again, as the police officer said, most of the locals know how to handle this in terms of parking and driving. You have some out-of-town folks, because especially with the holiday weekend. So stiff northeasterly winds along the beach. I was down there probably about 45 minutes ago. Probably when winds were easily in the 40s, probably getting towards that low 50 range. The water line near the ocean was probably encroaching. It's usually about 150 yards away from the parking lot. It was probably within 15 to 20 feet right at the time of high tide. So you can see where it's blocked off down the road a bit. So there'll be 2 more high tide cycles here at least through this nor'easter slowly moves north. So you have tonight's just after midnight, then tomorrow again roughly the same time, early tomorrow afternoon. So tonight and tomorrow's high tide cycle should probably be worse coastal flooding wise, as you just continue to get the northeast winds and that fetch just pile the water up. So you can see the water coming up. It comes up here on Savannah Road through that marshes. There's a canal. Try to zoom in a little bit here. If you see that bridge, that goes over a canal. With Delaware Route 1 down a few miles down the road that way. But there's canal. There's usually flooding too farther down near University of Delaware Lewes campus as well. But this is a spot that will typically flood in nor'easters, tropical systems, and the like. This flooded, it's probably a bit worse now, but during Danielle, back in August, as that passed by, Hurricane Danielle, well offshore. So it seems to be moving more into the parking lots than it did during Danielle. Is on the other side, closer to the bridge, and walked up here. I don't remember this much water coming up into the parking lot at that point. So again, there's a little bit of elevation to the stores here, businesses. I'll try to zoom. There we go. So tonight's cycle could be major here. So winds in this neck of the woods, I don't know, may get up in the neighborhood of, may touch that 60 mile an hour range right at the beach. Again, it's gusty here, but you certainly, winds are a lot stronger a few blocks. So if you kept going on Savannah Road, essentially that's northeast, past where you see that pickup truck, maybe 2 more blocks, that's where the beach is. See in the distance those signs, that's a parking lot for the beach. I'd estimate right here winds are probably gusting, and this is just anecdotal, so I don't have an anemometer in my hand. Probably right now, and again, we're shielded a bit by buildings here, so I'd say 30 to 35 here. You can see a lot of marsh over there and wetlands, and this is a spot that floods pretty well during any coastal flooding event. See some of the gusts. I'll give a quick walk around in the parking lot here. Yeah, this water looks a bit deeper here than it did during Hurricane Aaron. You know, getting a little spot here, it's a little more exposed by the winds. So you probably hear it if you can hear me. Yeah, it's a little more exposed, so this gives maybe a better look at the flooding. If anybody has any issues with it showing as private while I'm doing it live, I will correct it as soon as I finish up this video, and I'll flick it back to public if it just sometimes will, for whatever reason, it has issues where it will revert to private. Not sure why, but we'll do it. But you can see a pretty decent amount of flooding here this first high tide. First, meaning I know there've been some minor flooding ahead of the storm coming, the nor'easter, but as it's coming up the coast, it's definitely more than there was during Aaron. Or, I'm sorry, Aaron, Danielle rather, when that passed by in August. So I'll try to get back here, oops, sorry, a little bit more to get a better, wider angle. So I'll probably go live again at some point in a bit. Probably going to shoot some regular video for the channel and maybe reposition here in a bit.